Welcome to another episode of At Home with the Willises. I'm Nicci and
I'm Jameen.
And I'm nervous because today we're talking about my first book, y'all. It is out. It is officially here in hand. And we're going to talk about, I'm going to spill the tea. All about
the tea?
how I'm going to spill the tea.
Okay.
All about how I wrote this book, all the highs and lows, all the things. So this will be good. But I'm nervous. I've never been on this side in our podcast. So this will be interesting. But first, you're at home with the Willises. So before we get started, I want to remind you to make sure you subscribe. So hit that button right down there in the corner and also hit the bell so that you are notified every time we upload new content. Now, guys, we have been growing by leaps and bounds at this point. I don't know what's going on, but it's a good thing. So make sure you keep sharing, make sure you keep liking, keep commenting. Thank you guys for just coming back. This is awesome. And you guys are all a part of the Willis team.
Didn't they used to have a store called Leaps and Bounds?
Leaps and Bounds.
Used to be in the mall.
That was a jumpy thing, a jumpy place.
Yeah,
Kind of like Discovery
Leaps and
Zone.
Bounds.
You remember Discovery Zone? That was the spot.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I digress. Also, if you are interested in advertising, see, here's the thing. The Willis team and the At Home with the Willises podcast is now all over nationwide. We're seeing pockets of more and more people joining nationwide, a little bit all over the world too. So that's exciting.
Top flight security of the world.
Yes.
Craig.
So shout out to you guys. But what's happening is, if you want to advertise, if you're interested in advertising or being a sponsor of this here podcast, we'd love to have you. All you have to do is email Jen at thewillisteamlv.com. And that's JENN at thewillisteamlv.com. We're going to put it in the description below. And yeah, we'd love to have you try your product, read all about you and all the good things, and show you to our wonderful audience. All right. I think I'm ready.
Okay. You ready?
Yes.
You want me to go now?
Yes, you have to. I'm the interviewee.
All right.
Okay.
So today our topic is this here book right here. Before you read this. And this title is Before You Write a Book, Watch This.
Yes.
So today we want to talk about the process of writing, publishing, and marketing a book.
Yeah.
And the whole process and what all is involved in the process, and what do you plan on doing in the near future with this here book?
Okay.
So first of all, if you watch the podcast, if you watch the channel, we're definitely in real estate. So that's the first part that people need to know. But you know, we're realtors. You specialize in sales, working with buyers and sellers and all the things.
I do.
So what made you want to go from doing your day-to-day realtor thing with the Willis team to writing a book? So like, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, first of all.
It definitely wasn't me because I wasn't in the
Oh my goodness. Y'all, I couldn't dedicate it to him because I really wanted to dedicate it to all my past clients, actually our past clients. You see how much sense that makes? Because they were the ones that have been in the trenches with me as I was writing the book. So shout out to my husband, and I dedicate this whole episode to my husband.
It's
Jameen
like Steph
Willis.
Curry, you know, his daddy.
Better?
His daddy played in the NBA, and like he probably wouldn't have been in the NBA if it wasn't for his dad.
So I'd like to thank my husband.
Floyd Mayweather, you know, it's just whatever.
He's in his feelings. Listen, the next book, I'm gonna throw you in there. You
throw me in there. You see that? Throw me in there. The terminology.
You gotta earn it, okay? You gotta earn your spot.
Disrespect in the terminology.
Oh, hush. You gotta earn your spot. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna break the fourth wall really quickly because you know I'm all about business. So we're gonna talk about my clients, obviously, and the client experience, which is one of the things I'm passionate about. And then the other thing is the business aspect of it. So if you are looking to write a book, watch this. You're going to really want to hear what I have to say. Okay. So what inspired me to write the book?
Say, like you skipped over my whole question.
I did. I know. I'm coming back to it.
Okay.
I remember what you said. Okay, so what inspired me to actually write the book was what people don't know is I've actually been in real estate for over 13 years, almost 14 now. How long have we been married? Almost 16 years. So yes, almost 14 years I've been in real estate. But I came into real estate on the transaction coordinator side. So I was essentially his secretary.
It's not a secretary.
It's not.
It's transaction coordinator.
I was also doing like a lot of secretarial things for you as well.
And like that's bad.
And the boss thought I was cute. So anyway, so but what was happening was as a transaction coordinator, I made sure that the transaction got once something was put under contract, I made sure it got to closing. So all the paperwork that had to do with that, that is what I did. So writing up the contract, writing up addendums, making sure the inspection report was in and all that stuff. But I'm a people person and people would try to ask me questions. And as a transaction coordinator, you can't answer those questions. I would have to refer them to my lovely husband, who at the time he wasn't a huge people person. He's growth. But
I'm out here.
but I wanted to help it a little bit more. So once we moved out to Las Vegas, that's when I got my real estate license and went over to the sales side. And I got to pour all my knowledge into my clients. And that's what I've been doing ever since. And so what inspired me was all the clients that I watched go through the process, becoming first-time home buyers, and all of the clients that I personally worked with, going from, renting to home ownership. And it truly inspired me. A lot of people had the same issues. A lot of people had the same questions. And I began to compile that and thought to myself, you know what? I could write a book out of this. This would be a good idea to write a book. Mm-hmm. And the book was to just share my knowledge. Also, from a business standpoint, help build credibility within the industry. And yeah, that's how I got started. So that's what inspired me. Okay.
Definitely was a long version, but yeah, got it.
Oh my gosh. You know what? You are a terrible interviewer. Go ahead.
Jen, that was the long version. You got to admit that was the long version.
Then why are you laughing?
I am not in that.
Why are you laughing?
Next question.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. So the next question is, a lot of people feel like they eventually need to like write a book about like their life, or some people feel like they're not like accomplished, or it's a bucket list to write a book. But some people never write a book or never finish a book. So the people want to know, how long did it take you to write this book?
It took me from the time that I got the idea to write it. That was December 2022. So a little over a year and a half. And that's because every word in this book is my word. Like, these are my words. It's how I talk. So it's very conversational. And so that's why you'll really enjoy it when you're reading it. But there were times where it just took, like, especially if I was busy. I mean, I'm still a wife, mom. I'm still, working and running other businesses. So it took a minute to, just write. And nothing's wrong with, those who want to write a book with Chat GPT. But for me,
Open Sky AI.
Yeah, whatever. For me, I wanted to make sure that the words in this book were my words. So, this is coming straight from me, nothing that was, put together by AI. So it took me over a year and a half to write it and, have it edited and all the things. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so for the people who may want to write a book, but they don't know how to actually get a book like published, or like, how do you get signed with a publisher? Can you self-publish?
Yeah.
Can you talk about the process of getting the book actually, like published and printed? Did you get signed to Random House?
No.
What happened here?
So I self-published.
Okay.
And I mean, if it's your dream to like be an author, then yeah, you probably want to sign with a publisher. And I know nothing about that.
Well, what does that? What if people don't? What can you explain what self-publishing is? Because some people just think like, can I be in Barnes and Noble or not? Is that right?
Yeah. Well, so this book.
What's self-publishing? Some for people who may not know.
Yeah, so I partnered with. So I went through Book Baby. By the way, this is not sponsored by Book Baby. I'm just going to give you my opinion. I looked at several like self-publishing websites and platforms, and for me, I wanted to make sure that number one, I can have print on demand, that I didn't have to put a lot of money up front. Having to, put in a large order of books. So I liked that. I liked being able to have, options from a book. So print, an ebook, and having like a audio version as well. So that's going to be coming out soon for those of you who like audio, because I love audio. But just give me a little time, but it's going to come out soon. I liked that, and I liked what Book Baby had originally advertised. Was that originally what I got? Was that ultimately what I got? No, and I'll explain.
You think are you saying it was a false advertisement?
It was. I'm not saying it
I'm
was.
saying it was.
Jen was not happy about it. So, Book Baby, their whole thing is, hey, send us your book. And we'll have it ready to ship in 3 days. That's what they're advertising. So I was like, cool. Read through like a lot of other things. Like I wanted to see how this thing worked. So they were like, yeah, like we print it out, get it all like together. 3 days you can have it. And I'm like, great. So I called Jen. I'm like, this is what we're gonna do. Mm-hmm. This is what I've read through, and I submitted in, because you do have to pay for, there are upfront costs, and it costs about $2,000 to get this book into their system, to get it formatted and all the things. And so I send it in, and they're like, great, estimated time is a month from now. And I'm like, wait, what?
What happened in 3 days?
Yeah, I'm like, what where's this happen? Where's this a month from now coming from? So I called them, and I'm like, hey, I'm a little confused, because you guys said it'll be ready in 3 days. The girl goes, yeah, actually, yeah, we have to proofread it, and then I said, well, I already had to proofread it. Yeah, but we have to proofread it on our end just to make sure you're okay with it, and then we have to format it, and then you want the ebook version, right? I'm like, yeah. That's gonna take like another week or so, and then if you want changes to it, then we have to put it back in the system, and then it takes a minute. So I was highly frustrated, because I had put my launch date out with that 3 day thing in mind. Mm-hmm. I'd also paid extra to have my book already proofread and edited and formatted. So to me, that was a waste of money, and she also knew, it's not really, advertised very well. So, sorry, but have a good day. And I was just like, wait, what? Like,
so
what
you're
am I
basically
supposed to
saying
do?
it was like the IKEA of book publishing. Like, you get the furniture, but it don't have no legs on it. You got to buy the legs separately and the covers separately.
Well, and then it's just going to take time. So if you're going to use Book Baby, now let me tell you, the quality, like, it's giving real book, and that I love. I got an ISBN number for my physical book. I've got a separate one for my ebook. It's going to be available on Amazon. It's going to be available on Walmart. Think anywhere else, Barnes and Noble, everywhere is going to be available. So
books are sold. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anywhere books are sold, it will be available. So I like that. And so what was I going to do? I had to wait. And for me, it was just like, okay, another lesson learned, and it is what it is.
A little longer than
but it took a long time.
And give yourself time for the actual publishing process.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if just give yourself some time. If you're gonna use BookBaby, just add 2 months. Just right, Jen.
Oh yeah.
So that was frustrating on BookBaby's end, and I'm over here on the West Coast. They work East Coast, and I mean a strict 9 to 5. So work was done from it had to be in by 2 o'clock, or I've lost the whole day, or like I'm getting something at 6 o'clock in the morning my time. It's 9 o'clock in the morning their time. Well, if I got to review it, look at the book, all the things. If I don't get it in before 2 and I get it in the next day, I've lost the whole day. So that was a little frustrating, but again, it was my first time. So lessons learned everywhere.
Okay.
Lessons learned everywhere.
Now, some real estate people use writing a book as like a marketing thing. Like they actually don't want to sell the book. They just like give it to their clients, or it's just like not a muse, but it's like just like a giveaway for their clients. What do you plan to what do you plan on like doing to market and sell the book, or like book fairs, or?
Oh yeah, it'll be everywhere I'm at. I'll tell you that right now. It'll be everywhere I am. And I'll be speaking with this book. I'll be on other podcasts as well. But I wanted to make sure I had a physical book because home buying is so detail oriented. It's a huge process, and I wanted to make sure I had a book that was easy to read. You can carry it around, you can throw it in your purse, and you can mark it up. In fact, there's some pages on there that are meant to be marked up.
Where the forward
to be able
would
to
normally go.
Whatever. Y'all see he's so salty about this forward. Okay. Shout out again to my husband, Jameen. But okay, you ready? But I wanted to make sure it was, easy to carry around, and that it didn't, because the home buying process, again, it's like a very detail oriented, and I wanted to make sure it was encouraging, but also got people in gear. A lot of times what we do as realtors is just, cheer people on and make sure they're continuing towards their goal of being a homeowner. So that's what this book is for. It is for sale for $15, and here's why. The knowledge that I have is worth a lot of money. That's just what I believe. And I believe the knowledge that you have is worth a lot of money. You just got to believe it for you. But the knowledge that I have is worth a lot of money. And so you pay a small amount of $15, a small investment, so that, number one, you get kicked in the rear to get moving. In the rear, okay. Or get it in gear, I should say, to get moving towards becoming a homeowner. But also so that you won't make costly mistakes, $500,000 mistakes, $250,000 mistakes, making bad decisions during your home buying process. So it's meant to get you in gear. It starts with mindset, which a lot of people don't talk about, but it starts with mindset. And so that definitely helps. And then it starts with next up is preparation, and then the home buying process. And this is what I've been able to do time and time again for all of my clients and who are now home buyers. And that is why it's dedicated to them.
Nice. So this book is like a how-to and mindset.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, who is this book for? So somebody watching this podcast, they see that you have a book. Who is this book for?
Yeah, so it's for 2 sets of people. Number one is for first-time home buyers. If you've never purchased a home, this is the perfect book for you to purchase and start your home buying journey. This is also for those who have purchased a home before and didn't quite have the best experience. And we hit some issues and some hang-ups that you might have walked through or that you may encounter, and how you overcome them.
I had a terrible first experience.
Did you, Jen?
Yeah, it was rough. So
Your
there are
realtor
What
companies.
made it?
Your
what
realtor's
made it-
probably not in the business no more.
What
Probably.
made it hard?
You know, I haven't talked to him, but maybe.
I'm sure
They
you
most
have.
likely, if you haven't, they probably not in the business anymore.
Yeah, no,
So-
but it was a rough time. I felt like my realtor wasn't like he put a lot of things on me to do.
Okay.
You know, instead of taking care of it, and I felt like you're the one that knows what we're doing here. You should be taking care of this stuff, and he didn't. So there were a lot of things that I had to do. You know, when I'm looking for properties and things like that. There was that, and then I had trouble with the bank as well. That's why I don't know if I'm gonna get canceled, but listen, I don't do business with Wells Fargo. If I can avoid them, I will.
Yeah,
I don't
they
like
had
them
a
at all.
huge lawsuit against
But
them.
they just dragged me through it so bad to where
For that
at the end I ended up going directly through like a smaller broker, and we just didn't deal with a bank at all for the loan just because they gave me such a hard time about it.
Shout
that's
out to
tough.
Wells Fargo if you want to give reparations and do some things. We're open to talk.
Well, you
Fix
know
it.
that. So number one, let me ask you this. I'll say this. Did you interview your agent when you?
No. No, I didn't.
And purchasing a home is what? Probably the biggest purchase you will ever make in your life. And I will say the number one mistake first home buyers make or any home buyer makes is that they don't interview multiple agents. And here's why. Because 99% of the time, you don't know what to say. You don't know what to ask.
I don't know now. I'm about to read the book
You
today.
see what I'm saying?
Like, what am I supposed to ask?
So actually,
dude?
that's a free guide that I have that coincides with the book.
We got resources.
Yeah,
Tell me about the
we got
resources.
resources. See, that's the thing.
But we ain't gonna tell them too much because you need to go to before you buy readthis.com and get this book. Because my goal in life is actually to be a house husband.
Oh, hush.
And just to be in the backyard grilling steaks, watching football, smoking cigars.
You a lie.
So we need this to be a bestseller.
Oh, hush.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
We need this to be everywhere.
No, you want it because not only does it have this guide. So the thing is that I'm constantly working on other resources and additional resources to help make the process easier. So it has the book, but then with the book, there are also resources that you can go back to the website and use. Savings calculators, guides, a whole entire agent questionnaire that you can actually use. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and put agent questionnaire and we got you. We can send that over to you.
Yeah.
But that's one of the biggest mistakes home buyers make. They don't interview agents. Most of the reasons why is because they don't know what to ask. So we have an entire script for you about what to ask, the reason why you're asking it, and then the agent that you want to go to, that you want to hire and use, we actually have a script for that. And then anybody that you want to offer it, we have a script for that. So you can literally read through the entire thing and find the right agent for you. And then those that you don't want to work with, you tell them, okay, thank you. And it has a script for that. And for that reason is why I made it. I created that resource. So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So you get the Nicci Willis client experience in a book. I was just talking to somebody today, and I was talking about how the differences people having skill sets, and I was talking about how if you put a client in front of you, I can't think of any other agent that I would rather have a client in front of that I have had confidence that they were gonna kill it, like you. So yeah, cool. And I say that not just because you're my wife, but actual working with the people, the actual client experience. That's why I chose to add you on as a valued member of the Willis team.
I feel so blessed.
LV.
I feel blessed. No,
but this is that's why people need to get this book because honestly, you have like one of the best client experiences. You really pay attention. You care for the client, you listen to the client, you think ahead, and you can do that to whether they're buying a house here. Now you can do that whether they're buying a house here locally or anywhere.
That's the thing, This book is not just if you're trying to move to Las Vegas. I made it so that it's for anybody in the nation that wants to become a homeowner. So anywhere in the nation, if you want to become a homeowner, and before you start the home buying journey, you'll want this book. A little bit about some of the things in this book. Like I said, we go through mindset, and I have a very interesting way of how I look at what you need to buy a home. Is my own methodology that I have used with my clients. So very proprietary information. But also, as far as preparation, we talk about, having a good agent versus having a great agent, and the difference between that. We talk about building your home buying team. We talk about, how to find a good loan officer and how to partner with your agent to find a good loan officer. We talk about what's happening with the home buying process on your end is taking place, and what everybody else on the team is doing during that time, so that you don't feel alone, so that you don't feel confused, right? So again, this book is for you to take alongside with you. Whether you work with me or not, you can definitely take this book and work with any agent and feel confident and feel empowered, and not feel, frustrated like you did, Jen, in the home buying process. And, my goal is to make home ownership, to make the home buying process easier for everyone. And that's why I want you to get this book.
All right. Well, tell the people where they can go to get this book right now.
No,
we actually have a book signing.
Yeah, we do. If you're in Las Vegas, let's see, when is this coming out? This is coming out Thursday, so it's happening in the next few hours. Yeah. You can go to Analog Dope. We'll put the information down in the description below. I'm having my first book signing, so I'm super excited. Okay. Analog Dope is Black-owned, woman-owned local bookstore here in Las Vegas in the Arts District. So shout out to them. And yeah, that's going to be super exciting. But go to beforeyoubuy.readthis.com. Check it out and let me know what you think. Leave me a review, or send me some messages. I'd love to hear what you think. All right,
I'm gonna leave you a review. I'm proud of you for coming out with the book, finishing the book.
Thank you.
Rolling out the
took a lot.
Album release party, as I call
I did want to talk about real quick. This is from the business standpoint. How I started writing the book. Now, a lot of people do outlines. Some people do, like web mapping and things like that. I tried a lot of different things, but I actually went old school. And
you stole my Apple keyboard, especially.
I did that, but
you stole.
Once the battery ran out, I was done with that.
Rhyme book, as Fat Joe said.
But no, I actually went really old school, and I had a dry erase board and mapped everything out from there, and mapped out what my clients go through. So for me, since this is more of a self-help book, I walked myself through the client experience and then listed all the hangups and issues that they would ever walk through. And I tried to address each and every one. And then I went back and said, okay, how can we map this so that it tells a beautiful story and I can get you from point A to point B? So I did that, started off as an outline, and then from each outline, I just developed paragraphs and all the things. And I'm a visual, so there's a few like pictures and stuff in there because I'm a visual person. So yeah, I hope you like it. And if I've inspired you to write a book, please let me know, because that would just
put it in the comments.
That would be so
exciting. Speaking of visuals, I heard that there's some videos somewhere.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Jen. See, this is why we have Jen. So I also have, if you buy the book, you will also get, this is only for people who buy the book, you will get a webinar that I have done that coincides with the book, as well as a workbook. So listen, I'm telling you, there's no way that you should have any excuses to start your home buying process. And I mean it. You really, like, it, my goal is that you are fully equipped. So yes. So if you buy the book, then yes, you get access to my webinar. And,
So you got book prize packs, basically.
Basically,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well,
So that took a lot too. So it's a lot of moving parts when you write a book.
yeah.
I think that's been a very interesting thing to learn, even about myself. Never thought in a bajillion years that I would write a book, that I would be an author. But now that I've written it, I'm like, okay, I've learned a lot. We'll see what happens coming up next. But I'm excited about what this one's going to do. So, yeah.
Cool.
So good stuff. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah.
You know, I always forget.
So let's talk about some current events that we have going on this week. So by the time this podcast comes out, it will be the last day of the Democratic National Convention. So this whole week was the DNC, as they call it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I like to do my research and things like that. So the Democratic National Convention marks the formal end of the primary election period and the start of the general election season. We talked about conventions here in Las Vegas and conferences and stuff a couple episodes ago.
We did.
If you didn't, check that out. But this convention is anticipated to be attended by between 5,000 and 7,000 delegates and alternate delegates. Approximately 30 hotels in the city are providing lodging, and it is in Chicago, Illinois. And
Do they always have it in Chicago? I feel like they always have it in Chicago. Is that not a thing?
I don't know.
they
I feel like when Barack Obama was running, they had it in Chicago. No?
Maybe.
I could be wrong. It's 2 left feet. Don't quote me, but I'm just saying. I feel like I hear Chicago all the
Google
time.
will
Where
know.
was it? Where was the Republican one held? Pennsylvania?
No, it was like
Please stop.
Colorado or Arkansas, something like that.
Why do I keep
It was
just
very
naming,
different places.
Right, anyway.
No, it
We're just
was.
naming cities at this point.
No, it was like.
Okay. We
Y'all
don't know why.
ever believe my. Oh, see, now I got it.
Okay, fine. Where was the Republican Party? What do they call it? Because this one's called the DNC. Is it the RNC?
Yeah.
Okay. Where was the RNC convention 2024?
Babe, I don't need you to tell me how to.
You still typing, so I just.
Okay.
Where was it,
So
Jen?
the DNC, that's the one I was looking for.
Yeah.
But they've had it in a lot of different places.
Oh, I bet.
I've seen Chicago a few times.
It's never been in Ohio.
But I got Boston, LA, Atlanta. So it's been different
Okay.
places. But Chicago often.
Milwaukee.
Oh, that's where it was. It was in Milwaukee. All right.
Yeah.
A boost of economic dollars in Milwaukee.
Yeah,
this
Milwaukee
year.
is where the
Interesting.
Republican was.
And then Chicago this year. I
Yeah.
wonder why.
So I want to see the difference in here. So we talk about the convention. It's expected to bring overall 50,000 visitors to Chicago.
All right.
Now, it's great that they have it now because it is cold as...
What does the code as done mean? What does the code as?
Got to get canceled.
Nope,
Don't do
you're
it.
not going to give me... Nope, you the cancelee
Okay.
today. No, Jen actually is the cancelee today. So 50,000 visitors. But I tell you what, Chicago, they call it the Windy City for a reason. But
Yeah.
they don't want to have this in the cold.
No. It's perfect right now, I think.
Actually, if it's
Well, it's
real
humid,
hot,
probably.
it's real humid. But they have the taste of Chicago and all that good stuff.
I love Taste of Chicago. I go every time I get a chance.
Yeah. You should do the taste of Cincinnati.
I didn't know there was a Taste
not the
of
same.
Cincinnati.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Everybody going to dump on Cincinnati? Fine.
No, I just didn't know. Okay.
They have,
They have it in May.
You know what I want to do? I want to stay on the Magnificent Mile and stay in the W Hotel in Chicago in like summer or fall.
Okay.
Definitely not winter though. Cool
Summer or
old
fall.
Chicago winter.
Yeah, it bites.
Yeah, so that's going on. It's gonna be interesting to see like the differences in like how everything ends because the whole Republican that was like 2 months ago, right? Was it 2 months ago?
It was a while ago.
Yeah. Well, we had the Olympics in the middle. So usually they're closer together, but we all paused for the cause for the Olympics, and I had a blast.
Are you guys going to be watching the other Olympics, the Paralympics?
I'm going to tune in.
Yes.
Yes.
No,
I'm
I'm not.
Yes, I am.
You're not gonna watch. No
Yes, I am. I am. You know what? You are such a hater. I am here for it all. I want to see track and field because that's what they really, and then they do basketball. They're like all kinds of sports. I'm here for it. It's happening. It starts next week.
Yeah.
And they have been really like promoting it and asking people to support. So shout out to the Paralympics. Nicci Willis will be watching.
All right.
Go USA.
Well, popular dessert, ice cream at McDonald's. I read an article on what McDonald's ice cream is really made of. So you know how everybody in our house, except for one person,
Yeah. You're definitely lactose intolerant.
You're lactose intolerant too. Fun fact, 78%
Of black people?
Of black people are lactose intolerant. And then like 98%.
In our household, that's how that checks out.
Indian
3 out of 4
are lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
So McDonald's is actually a favorite of us because they don't actually use real
we don't really know what it's made of.
But now we do. So McDonald's.
I'm kind of scared.
Should we even talk about this? I gotta read it. No, it's actually interesting. McDonald's may not be the most nutritionally sound restaurant, but the ice cream is considered reduced fat. So it actually
reduced fat of what?
It's a dairy derivative, but it's not actually a dairy product because the amount. So based on the amount of milk fat present in the recipe, it's not considered ice cream. So on the website, it's vanilla 5% reduced fat ice cream. So on the nutrition summary, wait, I gotta finish.
Okay, because I'm looking for the other 95% of the items that are in there. But go ahead.
So this is less than the traditional 10% milk fat that must be present for a dessert to be classified as ice cream under the USDA guidelines. So that's why it's actually not ice cream.
Well, what is it?
Right. We only got 5% of what's in there. Like, that's the
5%
thing.
vanilla reduced fat ice cream. It has, the small vanilla cone has 200 calories with 5 grams of fat. And then the larger version is 300 calories with 8 grams of fat. So it has, soft serve contains 3 to 6% milk fat. So if you added more, it will weigh down the mixture, making it not be like the soft serve with the swirly. So they have to dumb it down to make it soft serve in the first place, but it's more of a frozen dessert than.
So a lot of sugar, I'm sure.
Okay, but it is milk.
It is milk, but that's only
milk
5%.
Fat. Like milk fat. So if you actually went and milked a cow and then you didn't shake it up or pasteurize or whatever, like you just got like the little milk fat on the top.
This is really turning me off.
And they make ice cream.
And you know, and all I'm thinking is curds and whey.
I'm trying to, they like
I'm like, y'all know I grew up in the city. I'm not sure what we're talking about right now.
Well, and I'm just like, so y'all have given us a high level summary of what's in there. Like y'all don't want to like break it down. Like we've been given an executive summary of what's in the McDonald's ice cream, but not a detailed version of what's actually in there.
They hope it work out for you.
And the fact that it doesn't bother our stomachs should be a red flag.
I think that they bet on the fact that the ice cream machine isn't going to work anyway. So you probably won't really get it. It's okay. True. You know, you only get it sometimes anyway.
Boy, you be in that line every day. Can I get let me get just an ice cream cone. Oh, I'm sorry, our ice cream machine is down today. Girl, I've been in this line for 10 minutes. I need you to go fix it.
I need you to go fix it.
Like, can I get a McFlurry? I'm sorry, our ice cream machine is down today.
I feel like they got the machine together when they started coming out with the McFlurry, and then they had the Oreo, then they had the M&M, and then they started having
the machines are actually they did. Somebody, I guess, blew the whistle, and the machines were breaking down like on purpose.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They didn't want to deal with that ice cream.
Like, I don't know what it was, but the people that repaired it charge an arm and a leg to fix it. So yeah, so that was a big deal. My concern is the 5% of the ingredient that they want to tell me about. I just want to know what the rest of it is. And the fact that it doesn't bother my stomach is an issue because, like, we do almond ice cream, cashew ice cream, oat milk ice cream, and all that actually is pretty good. So I haven't missed the McDonald's.
Cashew ice cream is my favorite.
Yeah, it's very creamy. It's like a creamier texture.
I found this cashew cookies and cream gluten-free ice cream.
We should do it like a taste test, like a blind taste test. I will blindfold you, and then you tell me which one it is. If it's
definitely could do
oat milk, cashew, almond.
I could get it every time.
Coconut milk.
Yeah.
We should see if you would get it right.
All right. Well, speaking of food, one of our favorite places, Starbucks. So Starbucks got a new CEO, and the stock went up.
Wasn't the previous CEO an AKA? Rosalind.
That sounds right. That sounds
she
right.
was an AKA
Rosalind?
or something.
Well, Rosalind wasn't doing too well, so they got a new CEO.
That couldn't be
Who
true.
is it?
So Starbucks got a new CEO, and this dude was like the Olivia Pope of like restaurants and stuff. So his name is Brian Nicole. Okay. So he's the chairman and CEO. Taking over. No, the old CEO was Laxman. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Laxman.
She must be like VP of something.
Stepped down abruptly after spending a little more than a year as the company's top executive. So maybe the person y'all talking about was before this person.
Yeah, she might have been director of something.
So Nicole will become Starbucks chairman and CEO on September 9th. So the backstory on him, he was basically the person that saved Chipotle when all them people was getting sick. When they had, was it like E. coli from Chipotle, and they only had like a couple options, and he expanded the menu, got rid of the E. coli food. So he has a track record of success in turning around Taco Bell and most recently Chipotle.
Interesting. No,
I just looked it up. Nikki Rosalind that happened in 2017.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long she was there, but
okay.
Anyway, it was a while ago.
It was a while ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Big CEO energy. So this CEO will come in making excess of $100 million in his first year with the company under an incentive-laden contract, and they not even making the dude relocate. So he lives.
Oh, he gonna be remote.
He lives in Seattle.
Isn't that
no, he lives in California. They not making him relocate to the
ultimate remote job.
Yeah, so he get to stay in Cali.
Ain't that something?
And get $100 million.
Listen, if I could be remote, getting $100 million, listen, pajama bottoms, blazers, all day, dog in hand. You see what I'm saying? Sipping all the Starbucks.
That doesn't sound like my retirement plan.
Ugh. I'm making $100 million. You retired plus incentives. We're gonna hit those marks.
And I just wonder, so just as one guy, what can you do?
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure. Honestly.
A lot.
I'd have the bubble guts.
Jen, you know I go to Taco Bell once a week. He turned Taco Bell around. If he can do it for Taco Bell. So
yeah, I can't
for Taco Bell.
Starbucks is on the decline because you have all these little neighborhood swanky little we have here. We got the mothership.
I sure do. I love mothership
brothers
coffee,
and all that stuff.
Human being.
I'm telling you what Starbucks. Two things where Starbucks messes up.
You better tell him because
all their food is prepackaged, but they take all day. The food is prepackaged. What's taking so long?
That coffee. Yeah, they.
And the second thing is, they don't have no gluten-free options. Of course they're going downhill. We the new wave out here. Well, gluten-free is the new wave.
You better tell Mr. Nickel these ideas.
I'm going to tell you my issue with Starbucks. I don't go to Starbucks hardly ever. Just because in the off chance that I do want some tea or a snack or something like that, the line is too long with all of they don't position them to the volume that they have. So here you are, you have this tiny shop in this tiny complex, and the line is wrapped around the block. You know that
sometimes
all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not quite up.
I'm not a morning person.
You're not quite up.
But yeah, so they know that Starbucks has high volume. I don't know why they don't do better logistics about that.
Starbucks got me in a chokehold. I got the Starbucks app.
Yeah,
I can pre-order my Starbucks and I just go
now,
to the
when whoever introduced that,
pick that up.
That was a brilliant strategy, because we all know everything is, there's nothing where you just hit $10 like right off the bat. It's always like $8.39, $7.63. So then you're gonna have to keep filling that card back up. And then what they did was, when people download that app and started loading up those cards, they had an influx of capital.
Yeah.
To do
They're like
whatever they wanted to do.
Actually.
It was a bank with coffee. So it was fantastic. Fantastic. And they did like some more research and they found out that like a certain large percentage of the people don't even use the money on the card. Yeah. So that's just free money that is just waiting. That's free capital waiting to be utilized. I thought it was fantastic. Great job. But like now it's kind of like, what's the next move, you know? So,
I think they're evil behind because they're not people not buying the add-ons like they used to.
Their food has gone down.
Yeah, I used to get like the scones and
like it's not a coffee shop anymore.
All that. Yeah, and then they started.
It doesn't give like that coffee shop
where you could sit in there all day. I used to go in Starbucks and be like posted up. Now they kind of
and their drinks are very expensive now. Like you can't like now you're like, oh, you know, you want to save money. It's just like a cup of coffee a day, baby. A cup of coffee is now $10.39, like regular. We're not even talking about bells and whistles and shots and syrups and everything else. So. He's got some work to do, but yeah, if he turn Taco Bell around, he can turn this around. $100 million. Listen, we're gonna do something.
Well, today we're gonna do something that we never did before on this podcast. I'm actually gonna do the real estate minute. Is that okay if I do the real estate minute?
Oh well, by all means.
Okay,
go
you
ahead.
ready for this? You ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
Real estate minute of the day is to go to before you buy, readthis.com and pick up this book. If you're thinking about buying a house, if you bought a house and your first time was not that great of an experience, like Jen here, you need to pick up this book before you buy, readthis.com.
Oh, well, thank you, dear.
Also, my retirement plan.
Oh, my Lord. No, you got a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. He has no idea. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Tell us what you liked. Tell us what your favorite part was. Put it in the comments below. If you want to give Jameen a shout out in your book too, I guess you probably can. He would love that.
Somebody got to do it.
Anyway, don't worry, babe. Next book, I promise. Next book.
We will put the link.
Yes, we'll put the link to the book.
In the description.
Yeah, and if you want the free guide about what to ask agents, let us know. Just put that in the comments. What should we say? Agent questionnaire. Yeah, put that in the comments below, and we'll make sure we reach out to you and get that information to you. Other than that, guys, have a wonderful week, and we will see you next time.